So if we get 3 people here, guess what's going to happen? We're going to recruit 1 or 2 of them, okay, out of the 3. And then your team now is going to grow, from you to now 3 people the next week. Well, if those 2 people got 3 people, now that's 6. Now it's not. You could be to 10 people within 1 week of you being in business, 2 weeks of you being in business. You could do that. You literally could do that if you thought about it. But you're thinking, but I don't make any money to bring people. That's not you shouldn't be thinking. That's short-term thinking. You should be thinking, I just want to grow the meeting attendance like crazy. I want to get a ton of people here. I want to recruit a ton of people. Why? Because if the bigger my meeting attendance is, eventually when we get all these people licensed, guess what? Now we know it's earnings per chair. Now we know that all we got to do is just count the number of people in our office, and then we can know how much money we're going to make this next month.
A leader has to take the risks.
All right, so we're going to talk about the 8 fundamentals today. All right, so these are the fundamentals of the business. So if you're one of those people that are wondering, okay, what do I do? Okay, we got great information today, but what specifically do I have to learn so that I can really get this thing down? All right, so in the next 30 days, Ryan, this is your job, man. You get these 8 fundamentals down and you continue to do these again and again and again. And then what you do, the reason why you want to master it is because you have to then, what? Duplicate it into somebody else doing it. That's your whole job. Your job is you do it and then teach it. More people that learn it, the more money you'll make. Okay, so here's the 8 fundamentals. And then if you're not following me right now, make sure at danielalonzo, TikTok, YouTube channel, just type in Daniel Alonzo and you'll find me everywhere. Google me, you'll find me somewhere, mainly on Instagram. If you want to get a hold of me, usually a DM is good. If you don't have my cell phone, usually a DM is good. If you haven't read my book, Wealth on the Beach, make sure you go read it. Okay, I mean, this is literally the fundamentals of the business. I mean, you really want to know how I built the business? Read the dang book. It's only 150 pages. It's not a hard book to read, but I really think, Ryan, have you read it? You haven't read it, you need to go read it. Like, that needs to be your next in line book to read, because you're so new in the business. You just got licensed. So you're so new that you need to understand all of the fundamentals. It's only 150 pages. Read it twice. And then you really get it down. If you don't like to read, it's on Audible. Get it on audible.com. As a matter of fact, you can get it free on Audible. If you're not a member to Audible, your first month on Audible is free. Okay, so you got to get this book. This is how this is how I got financially independent by age of 28 years old. I had $1 million saved. I was making $500,000 a year in passive income by 28 years old. Okay, so if that's what you desire, then, hey, look, and I just want to real quick recognize, man, personal cash flow. The Negretti's are making $500,000, Guicos are making $400,000, Lumangs are making over $300,000, Rubio's making over $250,000 with us, Beltran over $200,000, Ramirez over $200,000, Ibarra almost $200,000, AE Alonzo $170,000, De La O $160,000, Doctor $130,000. This is just in the last 12 months. And it's actually higher, believe it or not, right now on these. This was the from last year. Marin over $130,000. So there's a lot of people making money right now. So these 8 fundamentals is what help these people to become successful in our business. All right, number 1, write this down. Prospecting is simply talking to people about your business with the sole intent to set up an appointment, ideally with their spouse if married, to do a presentation, to get them involved as a client, a recruit, or both. At a minimum, get referrals. Hey, when somebody tells me no, if I prospect, hey Max, have you ever considered a career change if the money was right? And Max says, nah, it's not for me. I don't think I can do it, blah, blah, blah. Hey Max, who do you know that might be interested in a career change if the money's right, or even part-time income? Just an extra $1,000, $2,000 a month part-time. Do you know anybody like that? So my goal is to make sure every time I talk to anyone, I get a phone number. Even if they're not interested, they got to have a brother or a cousin or a friend or somebody that they know that might be interested in making their life better financially, okay? So that's prospecting. And by the way, every day, your job is to prospect 3 to 5 good, solid numbers a day, right? You should increase your contacts in your phone book by at least 3 to 5 numbers every single day. New numbers, people you don't know, you didn't have their number, every single day. Now you should be calling though at least 10 people a day to try to book appointments though. Okay, so now if one day goes by, Ryan, and you don't try to set up an appointment, you've just wasted a whole day. Right? Every day you should try to at least set up one appointment. Doesn't mean you're going to be successful. But every day, your object of the game is, okay, I'm going to prospect so I can what? Set up appointments. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. Here we go. Number 2, setting up appointments. The key to setting up appointments is motivating the prospect, through motivating your new recruit through the benefits they will receive by meeting with you. Or the prospect, if people can't clearly see what's in it for them, they will be reluctant. Remember, everybody wants to know what's in it for me. What's in it for me? Everybody's selfish, by the way. In this world, it's called human nature. People are selfish. They want to know, what do I get? And the quicker you understand that, guess what? The quicker you'll be successful in sales. Because if you know that all people want is what, they want to know, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? Okay, if I can give you what you want, first of all, I got to find out what they want. But if I can give you what you want, then more than likely, right? It's more than likely that you're going to say yes, right or right. Okay? So you got to know, everyone naturally does what's in their best interest. Failure to clearly show how it benefits the prospect leads to more rejection, fewer appointments, sales, and recruits. People are interested. Remember this. People are interested in having less stress in their lives. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. They want to be debt-free. Who wants to be debt-free? Everybody. Mm-hmm. Okay. They want to retire sooner, right? Okay. They want to be in great shape. Everybody wants to have a good body. They want to take care of their families because everybody loves their families, right?
Yes.
Okay. Having more options. Doesn't everybody want more options? Don't you want to have options? Like, I want to do this or I want to do that. Like, I have lots of options. Okay. And then being truly free to do what they want, when they want, in the style that they want it. If they want to go camping, if they love camping, they want to be able to have the option to go camping whenever they want to go camping. If they want to stay in 5-star hotels, well, they want to be able to have the option to go and stay in 5-star hotels, right? If you can show them how by meeting with you and joining you, they can achieve this, then the majority are going to join you. Mm-hmm. Okay? So how do we get to that? So when I set up an appointment, so you're brand new, Chris, right? So you go, okay, what do I say? Very simple. Hey, so hey, Chris, I'm starting this new business. I'm in training right now, and I really need your help. I'm just going to show you a few things of what I'm doing. It's only going to take 20 minutes. Would you help me? Would you help me? Okay, cool. So is today or tomorrow better for you? Today? Okay, so let's see. You want to do it at 5 or 6 o'clock tonight? 5 o'clock. Okay, great. So what I need you to do though, Chris, is I need you to have your wife, okay? I need her to be there as well because I need both of you guys there because I don't get credit for my training appointment if both of you are not there. Is that fair? So can you make sure you talk with her right now? Like tell her, like, honey, is it okay if we have Daniel? And it's going to be on Zoom. So it's not going to, you don't have to get the house clean. You have to worry about all that guys. Literally 20 minutes. We'll get on the Zoom call. We'll figure out in 20 minutes whether or not there's something maybe I can do good for you. Is that fair enough? Yeah. Is that fair enough? Mm-hmm. Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough? All right, everybody say with me, does that sound fair? 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 Right? So get in the habit of saying, does that sound fair? And you know why? It's because when you say, does that sound fair? It's almost impossible to say no. How do you say no? What is that? No, it doesn't sound fair. They're not going to say that. They're going to say, yeah, that sounds fair. Okay, cool. 20 minutes, no big deal. It's not the end of the world. I got to go on a stupid camera and for 20 minutes and just help my brother-in-law or help my cousin or help my friend or like. And by the way, if they say no, and you say, so why won't you help me? Oh, I'm busy. I got all this stuff. I can't do it. You know, we got the soccer game, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, I totally get it. I totally get it. So I get it that you're busy because most people are busy anyways. But when, like during the whole 7 days, is it most likely that you and your wife are going to be together alone for like 20 minutes? Like, is it usually the weeknights or the weekends? Usually what's better? And you say, weeknights, right? Okay, great. So let's do it Monday night. Let's do it at 8 o'clock while the kids are already to bed, right? Everything's kind of settled down a little bit. 8 o'clock. No excuses because you guys are going to be just sitting there doing nothing anyways, right? Just getting ready for the next day, whatever, right? So 20 minutes, 8 o'clock. I'll see you there. Does that sound fair?
Yes.
All right. You see how I just overcame?
Yes.
You see how I overcame that objection? So when you get good, right? This is called mastering your craft. When you get good at not taking no for an answer, and you get good at overcoming the objection, because believe me, everybody's going to say, I don't have the time. Everybody's going to say, I'm too busy. And that's okay. We're already prepared for that. So I'm going to say, what day is usually a day that both of you guys are together? Is it usually the weeknights or weekends? I mean, like nobody could tell you with a straight face that they don't have 20 minutes to give you over the course of 7 days. And again, if they don't, I would take it personally. Me personally. Okay? I would take it personally. I'd be like, bro, you just told me like 3 days ago that we're buddies. And by the way, I helped you move your shit, right? Remember when I helped you move all your stuff from your house and when you were moving and I boxes and I came over and we did all that. Remember when I helped you? Have you ever helped anybody before? Have you ever helped anybody before? Have you ever helped anybody before? Yeah, we all have helped somebody before. So I'm asking for 20 minutes of your life and you won't even give me 20 minutes. You don't got to go anywhere. You don't got to spend any money. You don't got to, you're not obligated to anything. And you won't give me 20 minutes on a camera? Like, I don't even mean that much to you to give me 20 minutes of your... Again, this is last resort, right? That's the last step, right? I'm not going to say that right off the bat, but that's the last step. I'm going to take it personal. And just so you know, because some people, they get a little uncomfortable when you say that. Because they're like, oh, I don't want to lose any friends. I don't want anybody to get mad at me. But I'm like, wait a minute. If you're my friend, you would say no problem. Like, if you really cared about me, you'd be like, yeah, I'll give you 20 minutes. They're not obligated to anything. They don't got to buy anything, right? I mean, you don't have to do anything. I mean, other than listen and learn. And if there's something good that comes about, great, wonderful. I mean, that sounds fair, doesn't it? I mean, that's easy enough, isn't it? Again, this is the power of setting up appointments. And if you do not learn how to set up appointments, you will not succeed in the business. You know why? Because the only way we transact business and the only way we make money is by being on an appointment and transacting business. Like, we don't get paid just to recruit people. Like, oh, I got to recruit. That's awesome, man. Hey, that's good. We want lots of recruits, man. But ultimately, the recruits turn into what? Sales. And the sales turn into more recruits and what? And more sales. And those sales turn into more referrals, and the referrals turn into more sales and recruits, and the recruits turn into more sales, and it never stops, guys. You realize this? It never stops if you do it right. Remember, having success is about doing certain things in a certain way. Number 3, presenting. We human beings remember 20% of what we hear, 30% of what we see, but 50% what we see and hear. Obviously, your communication impact nearly triples when you use a visual aid. Visual aids over not using them. Information that is visually illustrated and communicated has dramatic effect. That's why we have presentations. That's why you have a presentation book. That's why you show who we are, what we do in a presentation. That's why in my iPad, I'll write in my iPad and then show them, even on camera, I'll show them the quotes when I do the quotes. I'll show them in nice big bold numbers. visually, I want them to see what we're talking about. I want them to see the building. I want them to see the foundation. I want them to see the parts and the aspects of the presentation that's going to be visually appealing to them. So again, it has a dramatic and direct impact on the brain. If you take the same product and present it directly to prospect by talking about it, and then take the same product and present it using visual aids, you will find that not only do you close a higher percentage of the prospects, but you will actually pay more money for the same product, because if they can visually see it, they see the triplicate of choice, they see the three, if you had a choice between this one, and this one, which one would you feel would be in the best interest of your family for the long run? And they pick the one that visually appeals to them the most, right? Versus me just talking to them. You should use visual aids in every sales situation. This is also true in training programs. Number 4, overcoming objections. We talked a little bit about this. This is an area that requires massive repetition. I listen to I think that you should listen to Hector Lamarck's Overcoming Objections tape, or, it's on YouTube now. Max, you should matter of fact, send that link on YouTube, put it on the group, and tell everybody you need to watch this, okay? This is like, you need to watch this 100 times, 200 times, but I promise you, if you spend 1 month, think about it, it's only 1 month of your life. 1 month of your life. If you spent 1 month listening to these videos every single day, you're gonna wake up in 1 month, and you're gonna be able to overcome every objection, man. And by the way, you'll never forget it. It's like singing a song. Does anybody have a favorite song? Anybody have a favorite song? Right? Do you have a favorite song? Do you like music? Right? But man, you have a song that comes on the radio, boom, you know it word for, you know every beat, you know every rhythm, you know right? You know when they're going to say this and they're going to say, why? Because you listened to it 100 times, man. That's how you got to get with the information that we're teaching you. Once you get it down like a song, think about it, I've been doing this for over 25 years. And I know this like the back of my hand, right? It's like anybody could ask me anything. They could throw any objection at me. I will always be able to overcome it because I've been doing this for so long. You don't forget it. But guess when I learned this? I learned it in the 30 days of me getting started in the business. You know what I mean? Like, I learned it in the first few months that I was in the business. I learned it, I mastered it, and I've been reaping the benefits of that 1 month of sacrifice, right? Of just me over and over and over watching these guys, right? And I've been able to reap the benefits of that for over 25 years, made, almost $25 million since we've been here. Being confident, overcoming objections is probably the single determining factor in staying in the business, because if you can't overcome objections and close recruits and sales, you simply can't stay in the business because you won't make money, and lack of income is the number one reason people quit. So just remember this. The reason why anybody quits, the reason why your buddy, your broke-ass friend will say, oh, I heard that thing doesn't work and it's a pyramid, right? The only reason why he said, well, my cousin tried it, man, and he said it just doesn't work, man, and he tried it, and I guarantee you, if I were to go talk to that cousin and I said, hey, man, let me ask if you could overcome a few of these objections, I guarantee you he won't know how to overcome the objections. I guarantee you he can't sell. I guarantee you he doesn't know how to recruit. I guarantee he doesn't know how to have conversation to get somebody to his way of thinking. He doesn't know how. Doesn't mean he couldn't learn it, right? Because could you learn it? You learned the song, didn't you? So you could learn anything you want to learn. You just got to want to learn it. Once you get it down, though, it's with you forever. But that's the reason people quit the business. They won't get support from their spouse for very long unless they see tangible results, which is income. Remember, asking questions is the key to getting people to see what you see. And that's our job. I want to get you to see visually what I see. So it's a question, right? So if I can get you what you want, would you be willing to at least try? You see how he just said yes right now? Mm-hmm. Do you see how easy that, like, if I could just get you what you want, like, what do you want? Okay, so first tell me what you want. You tell me what you want. And then if I can get you that, will you at least try? Would you give it a shot, man? But you see how it starts with a question? It doesn't start with me, hey man, I'm going to tell you what you want. You're going to want this, and this is going to be awesome, and you're going to be so amazing, and man, you should join us because our team is doing great, and man, we're going to be awesome, and we're going to make millions, and we're going to get rich. And right, don't do that. That's just dumb, right? That's not how you close. So you just step back and you go, hey, what do you want, man? Right? Now the guy says, I want to be a doctor, and I'm going to go spend the next 10, 12, 14 years studying, writing, 50-page essays every day, right? And that's what I want. Okay, cool. Probably not the right guy, right, to recruit, right? Probably not the right guy. But if the guy says, hey man, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to build a business, I want to get freedom, choices, and options, I want to retire before I'm 30, man, I want to get rich, I want to friggin' be able to travel the world and do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. Like if he says that, then you're like, okay, so, and then don't get excited, just say, hey man, so if I can get you that, would you at least try? And the guy goes, yeah, I'd try. Okay, great. So I'm just going to ask you a couple background questions. Take about 2 minutes, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound fair? Right? You don't have to oversell. You don't have to oversell it. You don't have to sell it 5 times. You could just, one time. Hey, man, would you try? And the guy goes, yeah. Shut up and fill out the paperwork. That's it. Shut up. Fill out the paperwork. Get them signed up. Get them in. Get them licensed. Because once they have the license, then their destiny is in their hands. If you have no license, it means nothing. Like there is nothing, you can't do anything if you don't get licensed. You realize, right? You'll never make a lot of money. You'll never be successful if you don't have a license. So regardless of what Ryan's doing yet, right? Just got started, just got licensed. Regardless of what he's doing, at least he's got the license. Because that license now is your ticket, dude. You could take this thing as far as you want to take it, man. If you got serious, every week you started bringing people, every week you started setting appointments, every week you started recruiting people, every week you started just getting better, listening to those overcoming objections again and again and again. Read my book, over and over and over again, right? You get it down. 6 months from now, you won't even know who you are. Really, you'll be a completely, now in a good way. I mean, you're not going to change your core or your soul, or you're not going to change that. But I'm saying, who you, just the confidence that you have, the understanding that you have, you won't even know who you, when I first met Ricky, he wouldn't have been able to come up on stage and do what he did right now. He's a totally different dude. Totally different guy. And by the way, a lot of people would say that Ricky, because he's so shy, he's he's a pretty shy guy, or at least he was more shy when I first met him. But you wouldn't even know. But now he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to ask questions. He knows how to overcome objections. He knows how to get up on stage now because he's done it. He knows how to ask questions. Yes. He knows all these different things that he didn't know before me and him met. You get what I'm saying? Yes. So you gotta think with a vision. You gotta say, look, what am I going to look like 5 years down the road? How great could my life be if I knew all this shit? Because think about it. I looked at the guy that was above me, that was making millions of dollars, and I looked at that guy and I said, look, I don't know what he knows right now, but if I could just learn what he knows, what he learned, then I could do what he did. And that's exactly what my mission has been. Number 5, product knowledge, understanding product knowledge. And I'm going to jump right through this and take a picture if you want to take a picture of it. But listen, Hector Lamarck, not Hector Lamarck, Alfred De La O right now, when he came up here, that's product knowledge. That's all you need to know. It's not that complicated either. There's life insurance, there's investments, there's loans, but again, not everybody's loan licensed in the beginning, so you're probably not going to do a whole lot of loans right now, so I wouldn't worry about that so much yet, but I would master life insurance and investments right now. Those are the things that I would master, and you need to get securities license right away. I know you're working on that maybe, or you should start working on that. Okay, perfect. So, but those are the couple of the businesses. Think about it. And then recruiting, right? So if you understand how to recruit people, you know how to do life insurance and investments, those 3 products, if you get that knowledge down, right? And then you understand, right? IRAs and 401ks and potential tax deductions and cash value and overcoming all that stuff, right? I mean, if you get all that down, It's not that hard. Again, it's like a month process, maybe a couple month process to really get it down just by showing. And by the way, you're going to learn it by showing up to meetings over and over and over again. Sometimes Alfred talks about investments. Sometimes he goes through all the investment training. So every single week you're getting this stuff down. But you got to get it down. And then recruiting at the kitchen table. It accounts for 80% of all efforts. It's more effective to recruit clients who are already experienced and believe in our services. These are clients having benefited from our solutions like the F&A, financial needs analysis, become passionate agents who understand and become advocates for our cause. Personally, 98% of my recruits came from client meetings at the kitchen table, where they first became clients and believers in our mission, right? So I'm going to sell you, and then I'm going to sell you on becoming an agent, right? Usually, that's kind of the process that happens. This familiarity makes them more comfortable and effective when introducing our services to others. The recruiting presentation should mirror the in-home F&A presentation with addition to explaining the compensation. So you got to get so good at saying, this is who we are, this is what we do, and then this is how we get paid. This is like what's in it for you. So who we are, what we do, and what's in it for you. This is how much you can make. So right off the bat, when I sit down with somebody, I'm going to say, what are your goals and dreams? And they're going to say, I want this and this and this and this and this. And I'm going to say, okay, so how much per year do you need to be making to accomplish that? Okay? To get all those things. And they'll say, 300,000, 500,000, 200,000, whatever. They'll give me a number. And I'll say, okay, so what's the likelihood that your job is ever going to pay you that amount? What's the likelihood? They're going to say never. So if they say never, then I go, okay, so if there was a way, you see how I'm saying it? I said if, right? It's not like, oh yeah, you're going to get rich here guaranteed and you're going to make millions. I never say that because I don't want to sound like some idiot, right? I want to sound like I want to be truthful and I want to be transparent with people, right? I don't want to lie to people. I want to say, look, if there was a way that I could help you get all of those things, would you consider it? Would you think about it? And what are they going to say? Yeah. So I go, great. So then I go into who we are, presentation, right? Who we are, what we do, and what's in it for them. And then when I'm done with that, I simply say, so check this out. You know who we are, you know what we do, you know how we do it, you know how we get paid. If I was to train you and coach you and teach you, is there anything that would stop you from giving it a try? Anything would stop you from giving it a try? And then they go, no, I would at least try. You see how you see the way that I'm talking, you gotta talk like that. You have to say it like that. You can't just wing it and just say it like you feel like saying it. I've literally been using these words for 25 years. So would you at least just give it a shot, dude? And let's get them in. Let's get more recruits in. Lots of recruits. Hundreds and thousands of recruits. Let's bring them in. So that way, we can give people an opportunity to get licensed and then get free. Change their life forever. Max, can you just be careful of that real quick? I only need a couple more minutes. I'm almost done. And then number 7, get your new recruit off to a fast start. A major flaw in many Primerica businesses is a lack of clear method for new recruits to create a prospect list and set appointments in their warm market. New recruits often hesitate due to uncertainty about the process and fear of embarrassment from trainers. To overcome this, it's critical to conduct a thorough presentation and analysis for them, of course, right? Enhancing their understanding and comfort with what happens during appointments. The clearer and more effective their personal experience, the more motivated they will be to introduce you to their warm market. Okay, which is the whole goal. I recruit you. You now need to take me to go see your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your neighbor, your friend, your coworker, everybody you know. That's your job. And my job is to make sure I build you a team. My job is to make sure I sell for you. My job is to make sure that I recruit for you. My job is to make sure that I can transfer my knowledge into you. So you're sitting there just on a presentation, you're just taking notes. Because you're trying to steal all the information in my brain and stick it in your brain. That's all you're trying to do. You're trying to steal it from me. You're taking my information so that way later on you're going to be able to do it on your own. If recruits are reluctant to get field training, it indicates they haven't been fully convinced of the value and the impact of our services. A well-delivered initial experience can inspire them to eagerly share the benefits with those they care about, simplifying the field training process. And the one thing I'll say about this is remember that when a new recruit comes in, you have to get them in the field within 24 to 72 hours. Okay? So some of you guys have already screwed this up already, right? But new recruits that come in, you have to get an appointment, like today, tomorrow, Monday. Like, you have to get on a lot of appointments quickly. Because let me tell you why. If you don't, you are setting yourself up for failure. Why? Because if you don't, you are teaching incorrect behavior to your future what? To your future recruits. So when you recruit somebody, so let's say you're a trainer, right? So you recruit somebody and you go, hey man, all right, let's get it going. And the new recruit's like, hey, so when you got started, how many appointments did you go on your first month? And you're like, well, I didn't go on any appointments my first month, but I want you to go on appointments now. And then they're going to laugh at you. And they're going, well, why are you asking me to do something you didn't even do yourself? So you see where I'm going with this? So when I got into business, guess what I did? I went on like 20 appointments before I even got licensed. Bro, like I got 10 recruits and like 18 sales or something like that before I even got licensed. So the day I got licensed, I got my license. The day, you know what happened to me? Is I was already on my own. I didn't need a trainer. I didn't need anybody to help me. I didn't need to go out with anybody. I was like, I know this shit. I got it down. I watched my trainer again and again and again. Now, what do people say? They go, well, you lost a bunch of money, man. You should have waited to just do it by yourself so you make all the money. Well, that'd have been stupid. Because think about it. I gave up 18 sales in my training, but what did I get? I got thousands of sales from my trainees all through the years. Thousands of sales. A couple thousand, actually. Probably personal sales I've written over all these years. And I got that because I was the best example. So you have to become an example right now. You can't wait. Do not drag this thing out. And I would say it to RVPs too, man. You're setting an example of what it looks like to be an RVP. So is that a good example or is it a bad example? Is it an example of money making? Is it an example of freaking prosperity? Is it an example of killing it and growing and recruiting directs and hiring people and making a lot of money? Like, is it? If it's not, then that's not good because you're training your future people. That's what I always thought about. And by the way, there's a means to an end. So guess what? What we got to do? We got to get it done quick. You got to win fast. As fast as possible, you got to go win. Faster you win, the better inspiration that you're going to give your people, right? And then the last thing is partnership. Number 8, 2 heads are better than one. That's what Mercy's talking about, right? So all of you young guys with no girlfriends, you need to get a girlfriend and get them here.
Yep.
That's what you need to do.
Let me sit with
Some way, somehow, get your partners here, right? Me and Karma, we showed up to meetings even though we weren't. She wasn't really even in the business, and she showed up and she sat right there and she would be listening and learning right beside me. Okay. But also partnership allows for bigger meeting attendance. Remember, earnings per chair. And this is the last thing I'll leave you guys with is that remember this, okay? So if you want a predictable business, Willie, then you got to grow your meeting attendance. Because if you have 10 people showing up, you'll always do 10 grand. 10 people, 10 grand. 20 people, 20 grand. 30 people, 30 grand. 40 people, 40 grand. 50 people, 50 grand. You know how predictable this business is? It's not that hard. So I can tell you this month, I promise you, Max's team will probably do 8 to 10,000 in premium. Probably get at least 5 recruits minimum. Hopefully 10 because they're all young guys, right? So they're hungry, I think. But they're going to do, they could do 10, by 15,000 this month, really, if they're on it. If they don't stop, if they stay focused together and they work together as a team, you guys could do something big this month, really. But the reason why I say that is because, like today, I think we have almost 10 people with Zoom, and here we have like almost 10 people. So we know with a very good certainty of what the business is going to look like. Like our base shop will do 20 grand because I know Ricky's going to do 10 grand this month, right? So again, the point I'm trying to make is that everything's predictable when you get your meeting attendance. So last thing here is that your job on Monday night is to make sure that you get 3 people here, okay? And by the way, every new person that comes on my team, I'm going to give out a gift card, a Starbucks gift card, okay? So you can tell every single person, look, even if you're not interested, just come to get your Starbucks card. That's it. Just tell them to come for their Starbucks card. Let's pack this place out on Monday night, and let's get people here in person, live, nobody on Zoom. Let's get everybody live in person here so that we can start growing your meeting attendance. So if we get 3 people here, guess what's going to happen? We're going to recruit 1 or 2 of them, okay, out of the 3. And then your team now is going to grow, from you to now 3 people the next week. Well, if those 2 people got 3 people, now that's 6. Now it's not. You could be to 10 people within 1 week of you being in business, 2 weeks of you being in business. You could do that. You literally could do that if you thought about it. But you're thinking, but I don't make any money to bring people. That's not you shouldn't be thinking. That's short-term thinking. You should be thinking, I just want to grow the meeting attendance like crazy. I want to get a ton of people here. I want to recruit a ton of people. Why? Because if the bigger my meeting attendance is, eventually when we get all these people licensed, guess what? Now we know it's earnings per chair. Now we know that all we got to do is just count the number of people in our office, and then we can know how much money we're going to make this next month. Every single month. I look at our organization, we have 1,500 licensed agents, and I know that there's a percentage, there's a number of that 1,500 that actually produces. That's why I know with very predictable certainty, I know about how much money I will make every single month. I sleep good, I can travel, I'll have freedom, choices, and options, and I know that's what you guys want, okay? So, look, I'm here to help you, and I'm here to do whatever I can do to help you get the things that you want. Doesn't mean you got to have what I have or want what I want or whatever. Like, you're you, right? I'm never going to change you, the core of you, but I'm here to help you get whatever it is that you want. If it's $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month, $100,000 a month, whatever that number is, I want to help you get there. Now it's your choice whether you're willing to put in the work, the effort, the hard work, the focus, the clarity, the resilience, right? The toughness, the grind it out for the next 5 years to go change your life forever. That's your choice now. If you want it, it's available and it's already been done. So there's no like, oh man, we hope it happens. There's no hope here. 100% it can happen for you, but you just got to decide to follow the steps, follow the system. I just laid out the whole fundamentals for you right now. Do it, get the job done, and you'll win big. With that said, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Let's go win big. Let's get after it, and let's do it now. God bless.